Yo, what's up guys? It's Chris here. Alright, so this is the new iPhone 16 Pro and it's been a couple months since I've got my hands on it and I've had plenty of time to dig into it and see what it offers. Today we're diving into my honest thoughts on how it's held up in my everyday life, from standout features to some unexpected surprises, and spoiler alert, it's not just about the specs. Overall, it's quite familiar to last year's iPhone 15 Pro, bringing back that sleek design with a refined finish. While the design may be familiar, there are some significant changes we'll explore throughout this video. We'll dive into some important updates like Apple Intelligence to see if it's actually useful, and we'll test whether the camera control button is something you'll consistently use when taking photos and videos. So let's get into it. Now first things first, let's talk about the design. Now with the new iPhone, it seems that Apple decided to make this a little bit more larger than the iPhone 15 Pro. The 16 Pro is already taller and wider and even heavier. Now with this new iPhone, they also have slimmer bezels, which if you didn't already know, it basically increases the screen real estate of the phone, allowing you to have a larger usable display area. Now, this is a 6.3-inch display compared to the 6.1-inch display on the 15 Pro. Now, in all honesty, if you tell me the screen differences, it may sound like a notable difference, but when you're using the phone, you may not even notice anything of significance. But yeah, when it comes to changes in the design, that's pretty much the gist of it. You know, it still has the matte titanium finish, 3 cameras in the back, and a glossy finish at the back of it. But the one interesting thing that had everyone going was obviously the camera button. So yeah, Apple basically bests us up with yet another button, and that is the camera control button. But it's not just a regular button that you press and it turns on the camera app. You can actually treat it as a touch control panel where you can gently press and its haptics, and you can be able to swipe to be able to use various types of camera controls. Now, if you press the button, it'll only open the camera app, which is pretty convenient, but as I start actually engaging with it, as you can see here, you can see I'm able to change things like the brightness or exposure. You can also double tap the button to be able to control things like adjusting your depth of field or zoom on the camera. From changing to ultra wide 1x and 5x, and you can even use it as a shared button that allows you to start your videos or take your desired photo. Now, for what I've been hearing, there are definitely some mixed opinions on this button. For example, a lot of the controls you see here by using the button can be done right on the screen of your iPhone, and since we've all been dabbling with this method for many years, there's definitely less of a learning curve. And it's also just faster and straightforward in my opinion to use the old method. Because with the camera button, there's a lot of things that you need to adapt to, and for the casual consumer who just wants to take advantage of the point and shoot ability of the iPhone, this new iPhone may seem overwhelming. Now, one update that I find interesting, and it's something that I can see a lot of people using, is the Photographic Styles. So on the 16 and the 16 Pro, you have the ability to play around with this. You just get to tap the grid-looking icon on the top right of the camera app, and allow you to swipe through a bunch of different photographic styles, and you can customize these to your liking. You just need to use the grid-looking pad down here and the slider. And over the past couple months, I've really gotten some nice results from using the cozy and dramatic filters. I've been playing mostly with the gold filter since I've been going towards warm and cozy tones, which is more my vibe. Cool thing about it is that the style you set for this specific photo isn't locked. You can always go back to the photo and play around with whichever filter you decide to switch to. Some of them are a bit overboard, but there are some nice subtle ones that can enhance your photo. But let's say you want to go for a nice calm one like standard, or you want to switch over to something like amber. And you can definitely see the change in these photos from these filters. It's really convenient because I didn't have to go crazy and edit the photo all that much to get it looking different. Okay, next up, let's talk about the camera because there's some meaningful changes to it. Now, we can all agree that the iPhone camera is undoubtedly the best among all smartphones right now. I really like the photos I've been getting from this camera. They look fantastic and make me feel like I have like the freshman grade camera in my pocket. The same goes for the videos I've taken with it as well. That's definitely top tier. However, I've obviously been able to say the same about some of the older iPhones, most notably the iPhone 15 Pro, which I just had. Am I saying that the photo quality is exactly the same? Nah, but they're definitely close. So should you upgrade solely for a slightly better camera? Probably not, especially if you're just casually taking photos and a slight difference in quality wouldn't bother you that much. Now, the most important thing is to talk about what's new with the iPhone 16 Pro. First things first, the 5x zoom is default to all Pro phones and not just limited to the Pro Max. I've been able to take advantage of it in both indoor and outdoor scenarios where I really want to zoom in and get close to accuracy how clear the camera is at the level of Z. Now with the ultra wide camera, it's now up to 48 megapixels from its original 24. The details that I'm now noticing from my ultra wide photos is increase in detail, especially those close-up macro photos. It's actually surprising the detail twice in its iPhone. And now finally a really cool feature, which is the 4K 120 frames per second slow motion. Now it's definitely something that's just cool to have, but you won't catch me using this feature in most spaces. But when I am using it, I've been really surprised at how the kits came out with a great amount of detail and actually can be cool to use. It actually creates a lot of usable footage that doesn't seem like a gimmick that Apple added that you can predict nobody reads. Now last but not least, let's get into one of Apple's biggest selling points for this new iPhone, which is Apple Intelligence. Now, a big part of the update I personally have fallen in love with is the notification summaries. Basically, when you have this on, Apple will use their language model to summarize the important aspects of your notifications and have it displayed on your phone for you to see. So instead of tapping a bunch of notifications and going through each one by one, you can just look at what it summarizes for you. Next up, we have writing tools. So basically, the writing tools allow users to refine their language by rewriting, proofreading, and summarizing text virtually everywhere they write, including the Mail app, messages, notes, and pages. Now, what is interesting that Apple did compared to other AI like ChatGPT or Gemini is that the writing tools will not generate a text for you. Instead, you have to have something written already, and the tool will allow you to do various features to fix the text. In my opinion, using something like ChatGPT feels so much better because it can generate something for us. It's a bit disappointing that Apple didn't take the same route. Alright, so let's talk about how ChatGPT is integrated with Siri on the iPhone 16 Pro. With ChatGPT built in, Siri can now hold more natural conversation, give detailed explanations, and even help with creative tasks. Watch the List is curated for me for simply asking to list me things to do in Japan. Another cool thing, Siri now remembers context better. You can now ask follow-up questions without starting from scratch. Whether you're a student, a content creator, or just someone who loves having a smarter assistant, this integration takes productivity to the next level. So if you've been on the fence about upgrading, this might just tip the scales. ChatGPT and Siri, it's an absolute win. Lastly, what is everyone saying about Genmoji Playground? What is Genmoji Playground all about? So basically, it's a creative platform powered by Apple's AI where you can design emojis that truly represent you. From choosing facial expressions to tweaking colors and even adding personalized outfits, it's a whole new level of self-expression. Apple Intelligence uses machine learning to make this experience intuitive. The platform suggests design elements based on your preferences and even incorporates subtle details like your favorite colors or styles from your photo gallery. Once you create your Genmoji, you can use it across iMessage, FaceTime, and even as animated stickers for social media. It's not just fun, it's personal, creative, and really on brand with Apple. Compared to static emojis, Genmoji feels more you. It bridges the gap between static icons and a digital version of your personality. If you're someone who loves customization or just wants to add a unique touch to your messages, Genmoji Playground is definitely worth exploring. But let me know in the comments if you guys have been playing around with it. So after spending time with the iPhone 16 Pro, I have to say it is a game changer in all the right ways, from the advanced camera, Apple Intelligence, and other key features to how seamlessly it fits into my workflow. Apple has definitely delivered. But like any device, it's not perfect, and whether or not it's worth the upgrade depends on your needs. For me, it feels like a solid step forward in the iPhone lineup. Let me know in the comments what you think about the iPhone 16 Pro. Are you upgrading? Are you sticking with your current phone? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.